Now to a story that I think we're going to be hearing about for many weeks to come. Bombshell AFL allegations brought forward by a former Melbourne Football Club doctor turned whistleblower who has admitted to conducting off-the-books illicit drug tests to help players evade detection on match days. If they test positive on match days, it is out of the AFL's hands, Kosha. WADA step in, the World Anti-Doping Authority, and there are real consequences, including bans for up to 2 years. The doctor alleges here that these tests were authorised by the AFL. And today, footy greats have been speaking out, saying they have been absolutely appalled by these revelations published by the Herald Sun's Mick Warner. Let's hear from Mick Malthouse earlier today.
This is almost on the same level as the Essendon saga. In fact, it might even go beyond that, because this is suggesting that AFL officials are involved in this. Now, it is just so damning, and so it's going to place every player, every club official, and in particular club doctors now under scrutiny. The ramifications from this are going to be very broad. To hear these allegations, it makes it. I can't describe how angry I am.
Hawthorn Premiership player Campbell Brown has called it the biggest controversy since the Essendon drug saga, and a number of politicians have also weighed in, including Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill, who wants answers.
These people are such important leaders for our community and for young people. We do want them to do the right thing, so it'll be important to get to the bottom of this.
Kosha, the AFL are experts at brand management, some would say cover-ups. Will they be able to bury this one? This looks big.
It does look big, and just the fact everybody's weighing in, from the political sphere to other icons of the sport. I don't know. It's hard to see how they bury this. I think some sort of investigation is going to have to happen. We'll see. I don't know what shape that would take. The credibility of the whistleblower, I'm sure, is going to really be stress tested as they do that. But in the end, if true, the scale of it seems so big that things are going to fall out of the cracks, and I think it'll be very hard for them to cover it up.
What they need is a couple of players, perhaps retired players, to come forward and say if they experience this. Now let's go to Alice Springs, where the crime crisis is only getting worse. Leo Mendes reports in The Australian a violent riot through the streets of Alice Springs on Tuesday escalated calls for a total federal government takeover of the town. The mayor there is asking the territory's government to temporarily step aside so that order can be restored to the lawless town. Parts of Alice Springs were placed into lockdown about 3 p.m. on Tuesday after a mob of angry people attacked local businesses and cars. Sources on the ground claimed that it was payback for the death of a young man who died when a stolen car overturned last month. Let's have a look at some of that carnage.
Mate, they're taking 20-metre jumps and jumping in the glass trying to smash it.
Oh, she's got a brick.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, it's escalated big time. They've smashed through one door already. There he goes again.
It's just shocking scenes, and we've got videos we can't show you of some really sickening violence too that's taken place. What do we do about this? Is the suggestion that the federal government take over and try to restore order? Is that at least a short-term answer?
I think it would work, because you're bringing the firepower of a more powerful law enforcement agency to do that. It would anger and a lot of people. I think there would be politicization that comes about with that. That when are the feds interfering with the states? And I get the sense that for all of these things, there's this racial political undertone that has tied the hands of law enforcement, whether it's this issue, whether it's BLM back in the US, everything else. That there seems to be a little bit of a hesitation or difficulty in really applying the force that's necessary to curtail crime in these areas. And I think there's some other political undercurrent maybe that's also at play in here for why we're not doing anything about it, because it shouldn't technically be that difficult to rein in crime in these cities, if we really wanted to.
Well, we spent so long last year, so much money, so much attention on a referendum, but really consequential changes that can change people's lives today, that's just not happening. The focus isn't on that. And I wonder how many people in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane have any clue of that happening. Every now and then it will get into the headlines, it will be covered, but when you speak to people who live in Alice Springs and other areas, this seems to be an ongoing issue. Just very quickly, more on the detainees debacle. Australia is considering stricter immigration policies, and this could include limitations for asylum seekers who may be unable to return home if their country of origin refuses to accept them. Additionally, tourist visas from those countries are at risk of being restricted. Kosha, this sounds, I don't know, a bit like Trump's Muslim ban. I wonder if that's how it will be characterised in the media.
It does, and I think it will always be characterized by that. By some corners, depends on who the messenger is. We said free speech is the battle of the century. The other great battle of our time is immigration. It's reaching a fever pitch in Western liberal democracies everywhere, at different scales of where they are on that spectrum. Asylum and getting refugee status is not an entitlement. It's a great privilege. And if the system is being abused or people are skirting around the law after they get here, every country should and does have its sovereign right to defend that. And if it takes the shape of something that's more of a blunt instrument, like a broad-based travel ban, maybe we're at that stage.
I will be shocked. For a Labor government to do that, well, I remain open-minded. Kosha Gator, thank you so much for your time tonight.